Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tipping the Scales. I'm LaShayla Dawson. You like how I did that? Shay Dawson.
I do, LaShayla. I'm Tania Rivers. Welcome back, Tippers.
Hey.
Yeah. Listen, how has your week been going, my friend?
Busy.
Yeah.
Just never any downtime. Never any time to just chill.
know.
Like it's so I don't even know how to like.
It's like being on a fast pace, like a treadmill where it just never slows down. It's like the incline's like on 10. You know, the speed is like maybe like 7.5.
Yes. Yes.
And you're running. You got a good pace going. But that incline is steep. And at some point, you know, when you're on a treadmill, you have a real steep incline. You're like looking forward to start to descend a little bit. You want to bring it down.
You keep checking the time too, right?
You're like
checking the miles. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. I need to bring this incline down a little bit so I can breathe, right?
Exactly. Like,
yeah. So that's how I feel like I've been just for months now, just been so crazy, and just made us think a little bit about, because I know Shay and I just always have full plates, like our plates, our cups, everything runneth over. And it made us think about just, you know, when we think about our communities and our tippers and those who are out there just trying to deal with and manage stress, it's real. And it's something that I think we probably intermittently deal with throughout the year, that's for sure.
Yes. It's one of those things where it had subsided for a little bit, and now I can feel it cranking back up. You know, the tension's coming back in my shoulders. You know,
that's
even
why
Morgan
starts off there,
right? And even Morgan, one of our producers, was like, "Shay, like, when are you chilling, or when are you
chilling?"
And
What's that?
Right? Man, I literally been going since 6 a.m. this morning. It's my mother's birthday. Shout out to Lori Dawson. I love you
Miss
to death.
Lori. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom. And I was going so fast all day, and I had just got home. I sat down on the couch, turned on P Valley, and I'm like, it's my mom's birthday. Like literally, like didn't even realize today was the 14th.
Yeah. Not to get lost in P Valley a little bit, but I watched season 1. I got to get past season 2. It just was like, wow. Like,
do you like it? What's your take on it?
I loved P Valley last year. This season, it's like the raunch. I mean, if you want to talk about how raunchy, it was like the raunch factor was like an 8.
Like a lot of nudity and like a lot of sex.
This one is like infinity and beyond.
It's real
like,
though.
Whoa.
It's almost like if you had a window, if you could see in the window in everyone's house. You can see everything.
That's
like it's
true.
literally like no filter.
Yeah, behind the shades, behind the curtains type of stuff.
That's what you're seeing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
It's a lot of stories within stories too, which is deep.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll get started again.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have an episode.
Exactly. Well, yeah. So I really hope that you enjoy your birthday, Miss Laura. You are such a
light.
You're a real tipper too. Like
a real a real tipper. Like shares on Instagram, tags us, our personal pages and our IG page for Tipping the Scales. Tells friends, texts people like, Mom,
you're a supporter.
You are literally the best.
We appreciate you. Yeah. So Shay, when you think, should I say LaShayla? Who are we today?
Call me whatever you want. I am just putting it out there that LaShayla is a part of my identity.
That she exists.
That she exists. Yes.
Okay. I'm for that.
Yeah.
But so when you have all this going on, like you're traveling a lot, you got a lot that's expected out of you. You're trying to be a good, just
talk about it.
I'm trying to break down all the different facets of LaShayla. So you got work. You have you take your friendships very, very serious. So you're there for everyone. You got feasts as your partner. You are so protective over you and your mom's relationship. So you got all these things like just snagging and grabbing. what do you do? How do you balance it all or harmonize it all? How do you deal with when stress starts to creep up? Because I feel like it's like a thermometer that sometimes the temperature is normal and then it starts to be slightly over. And then that thing is like 103.5. You're like, oh, it's a real fever up in here. So how do you deal? What do you do?
I mean, I have a tendency of not dealing with it, meaning just going, Walking Dead, but like still with the intentionality with my relationships.
Yeah.
But it's draining afterwards, right? Like if I had like, if you could see how filled up I was, like you could see it going down each time, like mediated another relationship, text message with someone who thought I missed their birthday or, so like just all the things I'm trying to keep together. Sometimes it takes a little bit from me.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to figure out what I can do now. If I can go on a trip with Nafis because he's starting school in a little bit. We're starting season 2.
Yeah.
It's underway right now, but there's not. They're going on a trip to Europe. So like, what does my time look like? I don't know. So right now, I'm just kind of in the figure it out mode and just the execute mode. I'm not really dealing with the stress at all, but I'm feeling it. You know what I mean? Like I'm feeling it in my body. I'm noticing it how I'm eating. So I'm not dealing with it right now. So I'm glad we're talking about this.
I want to pause there because you said something that I think was very interesting.
Yeah.
That one, you're not dealing with, and we'll talk a little bit later about that because we all know what happens when we don't deal with it.
Yeah.
What can happen. But you said something I thought was important is that you could feel it, that you start to notice it.
Yeah.
So what are those indications for you? How do you start noticing that, hey, stress is knocking at my door?
Tension in my shoulders, right? Like trying to find, or when I have to be like, oh my God, I need to stretch out. So holding the tension here. I'd say short fuse, not having a lot of patience for
like
things that
becoming a little irritable.
Yeah. Irritable. I'm not getting as much sleep as I was towards the new year. My brain isn't shutting off. And so I'm noticing that like, it's not shutting off because I'm not completing tasks from the day before. It's carrying over. So
and that's one of the reasons why you're not sleeping too.
Right.
Like
so
you're
I'm trying
thinking
to
through
remember.
it.
I'm trying to remember like, oh crap, I didn't call, Marriott today and cancel that reservation, or I didn't, you know what I mean? Like everything's carrying over. So I got to do a better job of actually physically writing it down, checking it. Like I'm not stopping to do all the things that you need to do to manage stress, basically. But yeah, that's how I'm noticing is it's just I'm staying up. I'm thinking about things. I feel it in my shoulders. And I know it's part of my my weight gain is coming back. So, doing all the things I was doing, getting sleep, working out, being active, I'm no longer doing. I'm now maintaining, and that's kind of why I'm calling myself out right now.
Okay. And then you also said too, just about like your eating habits change when you're stressed.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Quick meals, right? Just trying to make sure I get something, but I'm not intentional about it. So just like quick meals, which is usually not healthy. Sometimes I don't eat breakfast, or I'll just live off coffee.
Yeah, I know that all too well. So very similar for me. So when I become stressful, I think I definitely feel it too.
Yeah.
Mine's will manifest, like I can tell, it'll be like headaches when I'm stressful. And I don't hardly ever have headaches. And I'll start to get a headache. And my neck, you talk about that tension is real, like right up in your shoulder areas, between your scapula, like all up in my neck, like I'm just tight. Also too, like very similar to you, where there's a lack of sleep. Because I can't turn my mind off because I'm just worried about tomorrow. I'm worried about the things that aren't getting done. And I also, you could tell I'm irritable as hell too. Like I have a short fuse. I already have a short fuse to begin with.
Maybe it's a Libra thing. I don't know.
That thing gets very, very short when I'm stressed. I'm like, what? Huh? What'd you say?
Like, look over there. It's over there. Didn't you see it? It's like, oh God.
So I take a deep breath, Tania, and calm down.
Yeah.
But what are some of the things in your life that causes stress? I think one, it's important for us to recognize what those symptoms are when stress starts to creep up, because they say that stress is a silent killer, and it happens pretty fast, and
Yeah.
oftentimes people just they get so used to just dealing, like not dealing. They're kind of like riding that storm. They're just in it, and they get used to it, and they don't change it. And while your body starts to feel the physical changes with the stress, you also are putting a lot of other things that happens to your body in stress mode that you ignore. That perhaps your blood pressure is definitely something that changes, and a lot of other things that you just take for granted because you're not
Or
looking at those numbers continuously.
mm-hmm.
So you're thinking, I'm good, I'm going to keep going, but your body is responding that, hey, person, I'm not okay.
Yes.
And you ignore it. But I think one, recognizing that it's there, but two, beginning to try to control what you can, because we all have those triggers that increases our stress level. So when we think about stress, what are some things that we can do to kind of combat stress so that it won't kind of take its reins and control who we are?
Well, so some of the things that cause stress for me are the expectations that I have, one for myself,
Mm,
performance,
mhm,
that's performance at work. Obviously, that's where we spend most of our time. That's
mhm.
performance as a partner, making sure like if the house isn't clean or there's things that like I know make me happy, which is seeing my bed made, seeing the couch all fluffed up and like looking like it's ready to sit on, versus like it's been sat on and no one's touched it, right? Like seeing things like expectation of what I think it should look like or how I should perform causes me stress.
Mhm.
First world problems, but those are the things. Um, Maybe some miscommunications with my relationships, maybe, things that,
Mhm.
I'm trying to do my best to communicate clearly with everyone and I just don't either have the energy to, or maybe I intended to do something and it didn't come across that way. Those are things that cause me stress. Paying bills causes me stress. Just because if I'm not mindful of my spending, um, I can look at my credit card bill and be like, "Oh my god, like what was I buying?" You know what I mean? So, I think all the things that are controllable cause you stress, but if you're just going and maintaining and you're not being intentional and not being thoughtful about
Yeah.
how you're executing all of these things,
Mhm.
and your time management is poor, which is kind of
Mm.
what I'm experiencing right now. And
Yeah.
time management is huge, right? Taking the time to write in my calendar and do all of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
Talk
but
about
it's
that
all a
intentionality.
right, it's
Yeah.
all a ripple effect.
Mhm.
I'm also struggling with some things too internally, just decisions that need to be made that are hard decisions. So that's causing me almost like a mental block. So I wouldn't say it's stress, but more of like it's hard for me to move past that. It's like I'm on a loop, and I think that's kind of something. Um, but those are things that cause me stress. And I know you asked about like how to de-stress, but what we can get there. What are some of the things that cause you stress? I guess right
I
now
think,
or in
yeah,
the
I think,
future.
yeah. So sometimes is when I know that I have so many things I need to accomplish
Mhm.
and I'm not checking off enough boxes.
Mm.
That causes me a great deal of stress because,
Still seeing a full to-do list type
yeah, I'm
thing?
trying to do
Mm.
more. I have to do more. And I don't give myself enough space just to kind of fall back. Like even today, I was supposed to take my mom furniture shopping. She wanted some more something. I don't know. I was supposed to take her furniture shopping. And I just woke up like exhausted today. I was tired. I got up and I just didn't feel like doing much today. In fact, I was a little late today of recording because Shay's like, T, are we recording today? I was like, oh shoot. Um, but most times I overextend myself. Like I have to stop doing that. I do it all the time, and I do it because I want to do so much for so many people, and I want to be that person for everyone, like that fixer that for those of you who love Scandal as much as I do, like I'm everyone's Olivia Pope. And I have to remind myself that even Olivia Pope needed a day of rest. And we talks about like just talked about before my faith, and even God had a day of rest. It was important. And I sometimes don't give myself that day of rest. And my mom had to remind me. She was just like, I was so happy because I started feeling stressed that I didn't want to do it. Like I was stressing already that I had to do it. I was so tired. I have 1,000 things to do. I was looking at my work emails, and there's a lot going on a Sunday. I'm like, what is happening? And I had to remind myself that I have to take a deep breath, but oftentimes I just forget. But the stress comes from not having the ability to control everything and not having the ability to accomplish the 13,000 things that I have to do on a day-to-day basis. That automatically causes me stress. I also feel stressed too when there's friction in any relationships that I have, whether it be a friendship, anything that's not like copacetic. Right?
Yes.
It causes me instant stress.
Yes.
I don't like, I need to be in a good space with people.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mean that we all have to be like best friends and high fives and cotton candy and balloons and all that stuff.
Right.
But if things are off, or I feel like there's just too much stress in the air between a relationship, my own personal stress will go high for sure.
Same.
Mhm.
Like we either have to be on good terms or no
not.
terms. But we
Yes.
know what it is. So if
Yeah.
it's not resolved or it's not spoke about, we're like, all right, that causes me stress when it's like a cliffhanger, when you don't know what it is. Like those are things that
Exactly.
cause me stress too. So, but a lot of the things that you say resonate with me too.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I need to eliminate some of the things that are causing me stress. So if it's a relationship that I need to eliminate things off my plate. And I know that that's what I need to do. And I think that is causing me anxiety, which causes me stress because it's hard decisions that I need to make, but I got to make them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been prolonging them, but I'm figuring it out. Like I have a plan. And I know that I'm at least taking steps towards eliminating some of the stress and some of the problems,
Mm-hmm.
and taking back some of my control. So I also know when I am stressed, I know that it's not going to last long because I only can take so much. Because what happens with me, and I don't know if this is my Libra taking over, but there's a tipping point.
Oh yeah.
On that scale when it is too full on one side.
Yeah. When it's starting to swing over. Too far
and I would
in
just
other
say,
direction.
Stop.
Okay.
And it'll just get silent. And whether that's me not answering text messages, not responding, just like where I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm taking a break from it all. So I haven't gotten there, but I know that it's coming.
Well, that's where I think I'm at right now.
Silence.
And it's not like me wanting to stop because I don't want to have whatever, like if it's a friendship or whatever, like sometimes I don't have the energy right? Like I know, like, for example, it's great that you mentioned that. I'm glad we're starting to transition into now we're going to start helping you how you cope and how you deal with it. Right.
Yep.
But I'm on like just like a text thread with like some friends. And sometimes I have time I want to chime in. And then one time it was up early. I just didn't even respond. Like I can't. I just got so much going on, and it's not because I don't want to. It's just I don't even have the energy, and that's what I'm feeling like right now. Like I'm dealing with, and more to come on Tea with T, but I'm dealing just with some drama from a past employer, mad because I left and got civil suits against me, just all types of stuff. And it's like it's insane.
Yeah,
and it's not okay, and for you to just do something to a person like that is just mind-blowing, especially for something like you think it is happening. I don't want let me tell you something. When a good leader leaves, people will follow, okay? For those of you who don't know, let me give just a 2-minute explanation on how that works, because there's no thing called a solicitation. Like, there's no need to solicit, because when you work for good people and you treat people right and people respect you, they will follow you, meaning that they will go to your website, see what jobs that are open, and will wait till something becomes open for which they're qualified and apply. So that's not solicitation. That's what happens when you're a great leader. So,
and when you don't value that leader,
tangent, but
no, it's okay. It's okay. And when you don't value that leader and you play that person as if they're not as valuable as they actually are,
right?
And then you'll see that once things start to turn over, and you're like,
yeah, don't sleep on that.
You get petty and you just start doing all these things. And,
So for those of you who are listening to the sound of our voice, or if you're checking us out on YouTube, respect the folks who are in your life that you care about, or respect the leader, the person that you have that works for you. Because when you lose respect and that person leaves, you never know how that's going to impact you and your business. Because if it's a decent person and it's a great leader, there's more people going to leave besides that one person. So be respectful and value and appreciate the people that you have, because you never know how that can impact you or your business. So sorry for getting on that tangent, but that's why my stress level is up high, because of the things that I'm dealing with in that fashion, in that realm. Arena. Yeah. That's kind of like pulling me, and it's just at all-time high. But one of the things that I talk about that does help me with my stress is it does both. It helps me with my stress, but when I don't have it, it stresses me out. That's when I don't get enough time to exercise. Yes. Because sometimes I'm on the road and traveling in hotels, and I don't. And if I go like 4 or 5 days, I get like, I don't know, I feel weird. I feel like I have to get it out of me, and I start to stress high. Right. So that's one of the things that I do that help me cope with stress is exercise. And it could be going for long walks. I was able to get in a nice hike yesterday. So shout out to our hike leader, Sydney. Thank you. I appreciate you organizing these great hikes. I had an 8-mile hike yesterday. Where did we go? I forgot where we went, but it was really good.
Hike. Okay.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so good. And because I haven't hiked in a while, I was rusty hiking because it was a lot of hills, like a lot of rolling hills. And I was exhausted. That's why I'm tired today.
That's awesome. I'm tired too.
But it was a great hike. So I need to start doing the things that I know helps me with my stress. And hiking, being out in nature and just being out there does wonders for me.
Yes. I like that you said that, being out in nature. When I'm out in nature and I'm taking walks and there's, babbling brooks and stuff like that. I'm
the serenity of it all, right?
Yes.
So
and
water.
That's,
I know bodies of water. I don't know why, but like the ocean, like being near some water. It could be a stream. It doesn't even have to be an ocean.
That's what I'm saying. Me too. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be. It's just some body of water, any kind of form. Yeah. It's very soothing. But also like this podcast has been a stress reliever for me, or just like a let my hair down. Like I laugh on here, I cry on here, I feel deeply on here.
We have a series of emotions.
We do. And I'm so grateful for it. It also was birthed out of stress, or birthed out of like, the exhale.
Yeah.
And so
I love our pod. Thank you for saying that. And listen, you guys all know I didn't found a relationship as part of this whole thing. Like there's so many
experiment
things that's happened to me with our pod. So shout out to Title League. We appreciate you guys. This has been such a journey for me. But now look, who's this little lady? Like I am so open now. If you think about where I was before. So that's why you guys, those of you who are new to Tipping the Scales, please go back and watch our previous episodes so you can get the whole, like, I feel like just the story it's like a whole long journey, but storytelling that happens in our lives. And in order for you to know the full context of the story, it's like watching a series. You don't want to just come in
or something.
or series. You don't want to come in on the 12th episode of season 1, you want to go back to episode 1, season 1, so you can get the full picture.
Yep.
So I definitely encourage you to go back. But I come here and I feel better. Like sometimes I go back and I'm like, what were you thinking, Tania? Like, I listen to the Tea with T, and then I'm like, why did Shay? I always poor Shay. I blame her anytime I go crazy. I'm like, why did Shay let me like she's my keeper? Like, why did Shay let me do? Because I went off of my Uncle Darnell, and
I
like,
also try and go, and you just like, nah, this is what I'm like. Okay, well, you're a grown woman, and that was my cue. When I do my eyebrows like this, and do my eyes like this. When I do this, I can't do nothing else because I can't really say what I want to say. You guys
got to see her face. It's hilarious. But no, like, so for me, like, of course, like you said, we come, it's like a venting, it's a way, that's another way that we may help us with stress.
Get it off our chest.
We got to get it out.
Yeah, getting it out.
Have that platform.
Mm-hmm. And then I can be like, whew, okay, well.
Next.
Definitely tip the scale today. That's for sure, because, yes.
Yeah, but it helps to have that confidant. You guys know pretty much every episode, I feel like therapy is helpful, but when you are stressed and you need someone to help you manage it, then again, a therapist, some type of neutral party is helpful just to talk to, that's not biased, that can objectively and kind of holistically look at your situation and be able to give you some sound advice or just be a sounding board. Sometimes you just need someone to listen to you and hear you out. You don't always need an opinion. You don't always need direction. Sometimes you just need someone to be on the other side just listening. And you need to talk it out, cry it out, scream it out. I'm hearing things, what do they call it now? When people go and break things, they're saying it's really helpful for stress.
One of those rooms? They have like those rooms where you go?
Yeah. You just go and
I actually want to try one of those rooms.
We should do that together.
Oh my God, yes.
When you're in town.
Okay.
Next when we do our live episode.
Special for them, so.
It's coming.
Ooh.
I'm excited for our live episode. And when we do that, we should do like a break. I think it's called like a break room. I'm not sure, but I know you just go in and you wreck stuff up. Like they have like old televisions, old computers, and you have something in your hand and you're just like smashing stuff. That's a very good stress reliever. So for those of you who need to like
rage room.
Rage room. There you go.
Rage room. Rage room. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you guys need to physically just outside of working out, you need to do something more to you got some pent up frustration, then I also advise you go into like a rage room. So yeah. What else can we do when you're stressed? So we talked about exercise and talking it out, crying it out. We talked about kind of
listen to music and dance, moving your body.
Mm-hmm.
So I also do that. I will blast my music in the shower, dance and sing, and try and get out of my head in that way. And
take your mind off whatever
dancing
it is. Yeah,
really does help me do that. So I think what I'm telling myself is I need to get back TikToking. And when I was TikToking, I was less stressed.
And you were so free.
And I was free. So I think I'm making my way back to TikTok because I know dancing really helps me. But it's also like finding the things that work for you. Mm-hmm. And I know when I'm laughing and I'm dancing and I'm being goofy and silly, I know that I don't take myself as serious. But when I'm trying to be this astute, business, progressive,
super professional,
impactful person, that's when the stress starts to come. Mm-hmm. So I think I've got to, like I said, eliminate some of the things that are causing me to think this way and move this way.
Sure.
And I'm coming to my breaking point, but also know my breaking point. So I think helping cope with stress is knowing my breaking point. Mm-hmm. And then what I need to do is also to help stress is sometimes write it all down. What are the things that are stressing you out?
Journal.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think those are the things that I'm going to try and focus on the next few weeks is TikTok, writing my stuff down and just trying to focus on my time management as well.
Yeah. I like time management. You said something earlier that I thought was worth exploring a little more is eliminating things off your list.
Yeah.
Like stop thinking that you have to accomplish so much because you're one person and you have so many different responsibilities. And when you try to put so much weight on yourself to say, I got to do this, I got to do that, I must do this, that's just unnecessary stress where you should just of course, you have to prioritize the things that are of the utmost importance and focus on that. But don't be afraid to cut some stuff off the list. Like, you can't do everything and you can't be everything to everyone. So try to find things that are manageable opposed to, trying to be the super person. Take the S off. Sometimes you got to take that S off your chest and put it off to the side.
I gotta take this S off. Yeah, this S.
Take it off.
I gotta sit it down. It's gotta retire for a little bit. Like I gotta hang it up right now. Yeah, because I gotta save my damn self.
Yeah. So, listen, Tippers, what we want you to do following this episode is think about one thing that you can take off your list that's going to help you reduce your stress. That's a good start. And I think if you aren't dealing with your stress, and we talked about different ways that help us, then commit to doing one thing that's going to help you manage your stress. So take something off your list and do something that you can commit to that's going to help manage your stress. So Shay, let's talk about it first. What's one thing we're going to take off our list that we don't need to do this week? Because you and I are the same. We already know all the stuff we need to do this week.
So what I've been trying to do is eat better too. So what I've been stressing over is trying to continue to stock up. So right now I have enough. I need to let that go and try again next week. Let's eat the food that we have in the house, in the refrigerator, the meals that we have, and not stressing over that. That's so little and so minute, but for some reason it's on my mind because I'm like, I didn't go to the grocery store today. I didn't go to the grocery store today. Because once you start getting low on things, you start to think like, oh, I gotta replenish. So I'm gonna do that, and then also I'm going to at work I have some projects that are due. But they're not due for another month or two. So I need to let that go. And I need to prioritize what's in front of me, what is happening on the schedule in the next couple weeks, and then worry about those later. But I know I want to do well. So again, I'm already thinking about doing well before my project is even, beginning. So I think just eliminating those things will help.
Great. I love that. So, and then for me, one thing I'm going to take off my list is trying to worry about what this whole personal situation is I'm going to tell you more about Tea with Tea in the upcoming week. I think next week is Tea with Tea, so you better tune in for that. But I'm going to let go the lies, the negativity, the things that are being spread about me because of rejection. That's what it comes down to. When you leave, you can't handle the rejection of it all. So, but I'm letting that go. I'm just going to let it roll off my back because it's been stressing me out for about a good month now. And because it's just been like a series of things that has been happening, but I'm going to let that go. I'm going to say, you know what? The things that we talk about all the time in terms of the only behavior you can control is your own, let that go and just live in my light. So that's one thing. Check, let it go, Tania. And then to help me balance the stress, I think I'm going to do what you said. I used to just listen to music and sing and have fun. And I can't dance that well, but if I do a TikTok, that would be the best thing ever. I think people would laugh forever in a day.
Next weekend.
But I am going to commit to just laughing more because when I'm here with us and the time that Shay and I have together, I'm laughing, I'm having a ball. But when I walk away from our pod, it's like serious mode.
Serious tea.
Let go, have fun, listen to music, and just fall into the moment. So
sing in your car. You could do that. That you can commit to.
Yeah, and I love to sing. Can't do that either, but
it's okay. But you're in your car, sing in your car.
Yes, so I will do that. And Tippers, don't forget, what can you let go? What can you remove off your list, and what can you help? What can you do to help reduce your stress? Yes, your commitment.
Yep.
So thank you guys. We so appreciate you continuing to follow Tipping the Scales. Please continue to do so. We appreciate you and we love you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.